Aloha and welcome. My name is Darren Fryer, 33 years old, born and raised in Maui, Hawaii, and I'm an M2 star coach here in OlyLife. So first, I want to start with a few reference points. I'm sure all of you are familiar with this gentleman, Nikola Tesla. He has these two very powerful quotes. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Our entire biological system, the brain, and the earth itself work on the same frequencies. So knowledge is only potential power. If you can actually learn how to apply this knowledge into your day-to-day life, it will truly change your situation. And that's what we're going to show you guys here today. One more reference point before I kick things off is the idea that a cat's purr contributes to their legendary 9 lives. I know you're all familiar with. It's not a myth. It actually comes from their ability to frequency heal themselves from the inside out. Scientists and doctors have been studying this, and they see that the cat's purr resonates around 25 to 50 hertz, which has been shown and proven to accelerate the rate of bone density and fracture repair, tissue repair, wound healing, pain relief, and muscle maintenance. And that's why a lot of us look at cats, they might look very damaged, and a week or two later, they look brand new. It's because they were able to frequency heal themselves from the inside out with that legendary ability to purr themselves to health. So let's get right into it. The company that creates this amazing technology in these devices is called OlyLife. It's actually about 4 years old at this moment, but they did about 3 years of research and development before they actually launched the company in 2022 out of Singapore. They own their own research and development facilities in Sweden and Germany. At this point, in the beginning, March 2026, we have about 1,000 global patents amongst all of our devices, European certifications, Intertech safety certifications, as well as FDA registration here in the US. We actually manufacture the internal parts of all our machines in Japan, where you find all the rare metals and minerals and coils, and they're all assembled in Hong Kong, which is the goal of bringing the price point down to bring this technology to the masses and to truly make it affordable. So we do have corporate headquarters in Singapore and Xiamen, China, and we do have one about to open in Los Angeles, Anaheim, California, summer 2026. So very excited about that. So it's important to understand that we have documentation that beats conversation. So as I mentioned earlier, we have over 1,000 patents. We have testing and certifications that show our machines produce PEMF and terahertz, highest quality safety testing and certifications as well. Just so you guys know that our company goes in above and beyond to make sure that we're transparent about the quality, the safety, and the power of our devices. So we're excited right now because we're actually in the process of expanding this technology out of Asia into the US and the English-speaking market. The company in 2022, when they launched, they actually did $1 billion in sales by the end of their second year in business. But that was only in Singapore, Malaysia, and Taiwan. Last summer, 2025, they actually started to bring the first few devices into the United States through Hawaii. It blew up in Hawaii because the testimonies were insanely powerful and word of mouth spread like crazy. And now we're at the forefront of expanding this across the rest of the continental US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, and the rest of the world. So, the US, if you don't already know, we're the wealthiest country, but we're also the most unhealthy country on the planet. And we need this technology. We're so reliant upon the pharmaceutical industry, invasive drugs, invasive, surgeries. There is a time and a place for that kind of stuff, but it shouldn't be your default go-to. Traditional Chinese medicine in the Asian countries tend to have the healthiest people, longest living people, as well as living the highest quality of life. And we have to learn from those who have the results we want. Do what they do, say what they say, utilize the same tools and techniques for healing that they use, and we can then replicate and get that same result. So our technologies are based off of these two things, PEMF and terahertz. The main goals of these frequencies that actually work simultaneously within each other is to activate, revitalize cells, promote your meridian flow, detoxify you on a cellular basis, help with microcirculation of the blood, fat burning, and pain, inflammation, and fatigue relief. Things that I'm sure all of you and everyone you know could deal with one or multiple of these things to help them in their health. So let's start with PEMF. PEMF was actually invented in the early 1980s by NASA. They were sending astronauts up into space, and at zero gravity, they were constantly returning from their trips with lower bone density and their muscles atrophied and falling apart. They were not able to walk or stand when they returned. They're obviously giving them the best food, best nutrition, water, oxygen. We've all seen videos of them exercising in zero gravity, but they could not figure out why. So they hired Dr. Schumann, who discovered Earth's geomagnetic field. There's a thunderstorm and lightning striking the planet at every second of the day somewhere on the Earth. Our Earth is electrically charged. Humans are living batteries. We're mostly water. We're conductive. And, they realized that the frequency of the cells and the voltage of the cells and the circulation of the blood were playing a major role in degenerating and damaging the insides of these astronauts. So they hired Dr. Schumann. They created the first PEMF devices, put them in the spaceships and space stations. And for decades since, they have not dealt with that issue again because they were able to keep their astronauts truly healthy by not just giving them the best food, water, and oxygen, by also allowing them to earth and ground and to charge their cells on a cellular basis from miles and miles away from Earth's surface and geomagnetic fields. So this technology actually stems from NASA. Obviously, everything NASA uses is extremely expensive. So that's why a lot of us have not heard of this yet, because this technology was not affordable to the masses. The devices or even initial single treatments were tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars. But that was really our goal here with OlyLife. There was a situation recently that I'll touch on. About 5 years ago, right after the pandemic, we had astronauts stuck in the USS space station, and they didn't know how long they'd be up there. Eventually, Elon Musk sent one of his SpaceX rockets up to rescue them, but they had to turn off their PEMF devices to conserve energy because, as I said, they didn't know how long it would take to be rescued. So they had to prioritize all the vitals. And when they returned, these are actual images from that. It was all over the news. You can look it up on Google. None of those astronauts could stand, walk, run, jump, or celebrate being rescued. They had to get wheelchaired and carried off of the spaceship because they were up far from Earth's geomagnetic field for a couple months with no pulsed electromagnetic field frequencies, cells lost voltage, their blood circulation slowed down, and their bones degenerated and lost density, and their muscles started to fall apart. So this is an extreme example in recent history, of the power of this technology and what can happen if you don't have this. This is happening to most people in the modern world on a subtle daily basis. We are not touching the Earth. We are not barefoot in nature, barefoot at the beach long enough, and we're surrounded by electromagnetic radiation. So now let me go into the evolution of the PEMF technology. First, we'll start with EMF, which might be something you're familiar with. This is the electromagnetic frequencies that come from the wireless communication network. When everything went wireless, our phones, our computers, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 5G, early 20th century became very prevalent in modern society. Mid to late 20th century, we started to research and see a lot of the negative effects and the amount of cancer and all these different things happening from having all this wireless radiation surrounding us at every moment of the day. They discovered PEMF in the 60s and 70s. In the 2000s, they created medical grade machines that were typically $50,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Single treatments with these devices would be upwards of $1,000 to $10,000 per session. But it was there for the millionaires, for the wealthy, for the elite, for the professional athletes, and for the astronauts. But it was not accessible to the public, to the consumer market until 2022, when OlyLife decided to reverse engineer it, make it powerful, portable, but most importantly, affordable, so you guys can actually afford to act on this information that I'm showing you today. So the next frequency is called Terahertz. This is a different frequency from PEMF. PEMF is tuned to the Schumann resonance, so the 7.83 hertz that our Earth naturally emits that we get when we're grounding or earthing. Terahertz is a non-ionizing radiation between infrared and microwave. It's actually designed to penetrate deeper into the skin, activate cellular energy, and most importantly, in my opinion, improve blood flow and circulation. The combination of increasing the cell's voltage with PEMF as well as increasing the circulation of the blood with terahertz creates some profound effects on the body's ability to heal itself naturally the way that it has the blueprint ingrained in its DNA in terms of knowing how to do. Your body is a vehicle. Think of the terahertz being the fuel and the PEMF charging that car battery, okay? You're not going to get very far and do very well if you don't have those two foundational aspects of your vehicle operating. And that's basically why we're excited to see how this helps people on a daily basis. So let's get right into the devices on how we package these two frequencies in different machines that are very affordable. They're all designed to be around the price of Apple products. So if you can afford a new iPhone and you're watching this on a MacBook, iPhone, laptop, smartphone, you can safely say that you can afford these devices. Our two flagship products, the original, the P90, and the newer one, the P90 Plus, most powerful devices. You put your bare feet on the device for about 30 minutes for the P90, 20 minutes for the P90 Plus, and you supercharge earthing frequencies into your cells, into your body, increase circulation of the blood in a very powerful way. I would say 20, 30-minute sessions on these machines would be probably what I feel when I'm at the beach barefoot for 8 to 10 hours, but we don't all have that luxury to spend that much time at the beach every single day. So this is very easy to use on a day-to-day basis. The P90 Plus is actually larger foot plates, and it comes with two wands. One wand that you'll see with a three-pronged claw designed to localize PEMF and spot treat certain parts of your body. That wand has a red light, vibration, heat, and a TENS unit or electrical muscle stimulation built in. The wand to the left is called our Frost Sage Beauty device. It's a non-surgical facelift tool, radio frequency and EMS to retrain your facial muscles so you can get that facelift without having to do any invasive chemicals, procedures, needles inserted into the body. So these two devices, hands down, most powerful ones I would recommend, at least initially for you guys. The next products are the Galaxy G1 and the OlyLife Vitality Wand. The G1 is our low-frequency PEMF goggles designed for eyes and brain health. Extremely powerful, guys. I recommend doing your own research. Go on ChatGPT or Grok and ask how PEMF and terahertz can help you with whatever you're individually struggling with, and I promise you'll be blown away. This has been around. There are several thousand published medical studies done on PEMF, thousands done on terahertz. So go on ChatGPT, will really help you summarize and source every single claim to published medical studies that have been done. But the Galaxy goggles, extremely good for eye fatigue and all types of eye and brain issues. Has a airbag temple massage, so it relieves a lot of tension on the face, and a patented pinhole pattern, so you can actually see through it, and it's designed to help you exercise your eye muscles to increase your eyesight naturally. Vitality Wand has some Dyson technology. It blows hot compressed air, and it actually blows a longer wavelength of the frequencies that penetrate deeper into the body, into the tendons, bones, tissues, and it can actually penetrate through a cast. So we've seen some incredible results from both of these devices, especially from what I've witnessed recently, the Vitality Wand. Very powerful, comes with a case, tripod that actually oscillates, so it could actually move side to side or up or down. Very powerful devices, you guys. Our other two top machines is their newest one, the Shaken Massager, the first smart device designed to help burn stubborn belly fat, also known as visceral fat, which is the toxic fat that surrounds your internal organs, does radio frequency, ultrasound, PEMF, heat, vibration, massage. It does 7 things in one 20-minute session to burn about 500 calories and to melt all the visceral fat cells out of your body. And our A9 Bama Air is designed to not just filter the air, but to saturate the air with negative ions and anions, which is what we see in nature when we're in a rainforest, at a waterfall, we're at the beach watching waves break. There's a lot of negative ions and negative antioxidants in the air, and that's what that device is designed to do in your bedroom and in your home.